So today, I want to tell you something that's going to upset a lot of running coaches. Maybe you've thought about running a marathon, a half marathon, maybe smashing a 10k PB, even getting back into running. In this video, I'm going to dispel 3 myths that no one talks about, that running coaches keep blabbering on about. They keep pushing that you have to do them. And as someone who's a coach and a competitive weightlifter who hasn't run a 10k in probably 10 years, just done a 340 marathon, not following any of that advice. If you're someone who wants to run, not lose their strength, or run faster by being stronger, who wants to build or keep their gains, and if you're someone that wants to stop breaking down all the time and perform in all areas, then you need to watch this video so you can learn the 3 things that you need to disregard that most running coaches tell you need to do. So I've been coaching for over 8 years, I've worked in professional sport, I've competed nationally myself, and I now use that experience to coach over 100 individuals in the same position as you, frustrated with either feeling torn between being strong but being unfit and out of breath, or being really fit but feeling weak as piss. All these individuals have gone on to feel strong, fit and confident in the weights room, confident to go out at a weekend, smash a long run, smash an interval session without the fear of getting injured. I've just released my free 9-week running durability program. There's a couple of sessions a week. It's designed to run alongside your running sessions so you can actually do both properly, get faster, get stronger, remain injury-free to become a better all-round athlete and runner. 18 weeks prior to the marathon in April, along with a few of my clients, I decided to prove a point by saying, you know what, sorry, I'll do a marathon. I'd not done more than 10k, probably playing football, in my life, and that was probably 10 years ago. All I've done for the last 6 years or more is squat, snatch, clean and jerk, heavy, powerful lifting in the weights room. But honestly, as an S&C coach, just get fed up and sick and tired of seeing terrible advice given to runners and how runners are always scared of lifting decent weight and training in the weights room, and to them coaches giving out real polarizing information where you can't do strength training or strength training is bad for a runner, and almost scaremongering people to doing decent amount of strength work. So decided to do a marathon whilst maintaining my weightlifting and my style of heavy strength training. So myth 1. You need to drop bilateral movements and do single leg movements only. So many running coaches or people out there that run will say, running is a single leg exercise or sport. Yes, it is. So you should only do single leg exercises. And then you see split squat after split squat, single leg after single leg RDL, that pisses me off. And all you'll see is that back squats are bad, normal deadlifts or remaining deadlifts are bad with a barbell. Everything's done with either a kettlebell or a pair of dumbbells, and you might be like a little bit of a step up or something on a box. Everything's lightweight, everything's sort of fast moving. There's no heavy lifting going off anywhere in any of these videos. Now, I'm not a bilateral advocate. I'm not someone who just needs everyone to do a back squat, but typically you will see these single leg movements and coaches preaching that you need to lift lighter loads. All the videos will show them lifting light loads, and then it's all just about being a single leg exercise. Now, the idea is to improve your force outputs, to make you faster, to improve your stride length, to improve your tendon stiffness, and joint stiffness, to enable you to almost bounce off the ground, so you get a better energy return. You are not going to get that from doing a single leg kettlebell RDL, usually in running trainers or on a foam mat where you're wobbling all over. The more instability that we create, the less force we can produce, the lighter loads we can lift. I feel like everyone just stays in the comfort zone as a runner rather than trying to lift some heavy loads. Now, I'd argue that doing some bilateral movements will allow you to increase your force outputs, increase your strength a lot safer than doing a unilateral exercise, for example. However, the big thing is that you try to progressively overload the system no matter what exercise it is. And you are not going to be able to single leg kettlebell RDL, or literally balancing on one leg. You are not going to be able to load it heavy enough to help the body tolerate the high impact loads that go through it. Ground reaction forces when running can be 5, 6, 7 times body weight plus. So if you weigh 100 kilo, that's 700 kilo worth of ground reaction force going through that body. Yes, you're not going to go and squat 700 kilo, but the premise of lifting a 10 kilo dumbbell a few reps once a week just isn't going to cut it. So myth 2. Strength training and heavy loads will ruin you as a runner. What you should be doing is stability, balance exercises are more important. Is it because coaches don't program strength training properly and they end up ruining or killing that individual to the point where they're scared to do any weights? It's proven out there that strength training will improve running economy for that individual. If you're stronger, you're going to be able to maintain a better technique for longer during your runs, which means technique breaks down less. If technique breaks down less, you are going to be able to maintain that sort of optimal stride length, stride frequency, hitting positions while running, compared to someone who's breaking down because they're really weak. That means you're going to be able to sustain a higher intensity longer in your runs. You might then be able to run your speed sessions a lot harder. Or again, let's say from rep 3 up to rep 8, and you're doing 10 reps of 400 meters, you're going to be able to maintain proper technique and proper posture. That's only going to help you with your training as well. And too many individuals neglect the strength training and then wonder why they are breaking down during training. They don't finish a training block for whatever, a 10k marathon, and they never actually complete a full block because they are avoiding strength training and progressive overload in their training. What you will see preached is standing on a bozzy ball, standing on one leg, shutting your eyes whilst you have to lift. And quite frankly, again, it's just creating loads of instability. It seems great and it's all proprioceptiveness, but ultimately, you're not really loading the system. You're dealing with bodyweight exercises and you're just creating some instability. It's really not going to help you when it comes to hitting the ground hard, and doing speed sessions, doing real long runs. If you're training for a marathon, some of your runs are going to get up towards 30k. If you're not loading your tendons, if you're not loading your muscles, if you are not strong, you're simply going to be struggling to tolerate them loads and breaking down. As soon as you get deep into a marathon training block, your body needs to be resilient and robust, and standing on a foam mat or on a bozzy ball, just creating a little bit of a wobble, again, really is not going to cut it. And in my opinion, it is bad coaching, programming that is killing that individual. And that could be doing real big heavy leg sessions, so it ends up creating too much soreness, too much DOMS, and that individual then again ruins their runs, so they're then put off to actually strength train. Or again, you're getting leg exercises, but it's literally with light load to just almost make you feel good, and it's not been progressed over time. It can be again too extreme. Don't do any light lifting, then you do loads of heavy lifting, get injured that way, or ruin your running. Or again, you always stay under light loads, never really increase your strength. Then when it comes to the big runs, the heavy speed work, you get injured again, and you'll end up questioning the running, your own ability, rather than maybe what programming or what strength training you're actually doing. And honestly, it's why I created this free running durability guide. It's covering all the key areas. It's not a case of doing 8 leg exercises like a bodybuilder. There's only a couple of compound movements in there. There's single leg movements in there. There's plyometrics to help you improve your coordination. Again, your running economy as a runner to improve tendon stiffness, all the key aspects of running to make you a faster runner, but not only a faster, a more economical runner. So you can run faster but for less energy. When you're able to do that, the intensity you're running at feels actually less than what it does for someone who's not strength training. It's going to feel a little bit easier, which means your running economy increases, you break down less, which means you can train more. If you're training more over the long term, not picking up niggles constantly, your results are able to drastically improve across a year. And when you're consistent over a year, 2 years, where you can gradually increase training intensity, PBs are inevitable. Yet someone who is going hell for leather, or they avoid strength training, then they try and start running and peak in their running training, then they break down, they end up having weeks off, months off, try it again, and wonder why they're always up and down, in and out of it, being injured, and they never sort of see progress with the running. So look, the link for that guide is in the description. It's on my Instagram page. You'll get funny reels and exercise demonstrations over on Instagram. Bits around running, bits around strength training, plyometrics. It's all on my Instagram page, so check that out. That's in the description as well. And then finally, myth 3 is loads of activation, bodyweight exercises. It almost covers a little bit of everything, what we're talking about in this video, but coaches will have athletes doing loads of dead bugs, loads of banded glute work, loads of donkey kicks. Again, where they're not really loading the system, and you actually spend more of your strength work, more of your precious time, especially people that are not elite athletes, where time is of the essence. Do you really need to be spending half an hour doing activation exercises or bodyweight exercises when that half an hour could be 2, 3, maybe 4 exercises just focused around strength on a key area, few plyometrics, jobs are good. You could literally do 2 to 3 half an hour sessions on your strength work, actually load your system pretty well, and you're going to get way more bang for your buck there. See coaches go on about doing banded work, some little hip flexor marches, but again, where they're just not really loading the system, they're just almost doing a warm-up. These are drills that should be just a warm-up before you go out on a run. Maybe if individuals are injured, doing a little bit of rehab, yes, of course, it can be beneficial. They're able to deload that individual, provide a stimulus, provide a little bit of activation, a little bit of initial strength for that area, but you are then going to, again, get way more value out of your strength training for half an hour, 40 minutes, loading up a exercise, again, building to get to a decent weight for lower volumes. Yeah, it's going to be a lot safer doing some plyometrics and heavy strength work than you are consistently doing banded activation as your strength work. So what does it mean for everyday runners? It means don't be afraid of strength work. Build up your intensity. Progress it over time. You do not need to go in balls deep into a back squat where you do feel like your legs are ruined. You do not need to be doing high volumes of reps. All your volume is coming through running training, yeah? And vice versa. If you're going into a strength phase, you should look at that with your running, where your running volume come down a little bit to allow more room and recovery for your strength training. But if you're a runner and you're trying to maintain both, you're trying to perform well, again, maybe training for a marathon, strength training doesn't need to be our 90-minute sessions, doesn't need to be 4 or 5 times a week, doesn't need to be 6, 7 exercises all on your legs. It needs to be spread out through plyometrics, 1 or 2 heavy compound lifts, a couple of areas around like the hips, groins, hamstrings, that is progressed over time. And it doesn't matter if you're starting low level, but instead of staying there and just staying around like the banded activation exercises, the single leg stuff, if you are looking to progress it over time, again, you are then going to get a lot stronger and a lot more efficient as a runner. And as I said at the start of the video, it does not matter if it is a back squat or a split squat, but that premise of not loading it, not really pushing it, staying in the comfort zone with your strength training is not the one. Yes, you will get some DOMs and fatigue initially, but it's a case of sticking with that, progressing it over time, that will see you become obviously a lot stronger and able to handle strength training, handle a lot more running, run a lot faster, run a lot longer, and notice that you're not really picking up the same niggles, not really picking up the same injuries that maybe stop you from training week to week. And finally, the big thing that runners, I think, miss with the strength training is that it will actually increase your force outputs. If you are able to strike the ground with more force, hit the ground harder in the same time, or if not less time than someone else, you're able to move further with each stride, but then each stride is quicker because your ground contact times are quicker. That's, again, I think a big thing that runners miss. They avoid strength work, because it feels like it's damaging or sore on their muscles, but then they don't really increase the sort of physical capacity to actually run faster, to again supplement the speed work. Running is not the only side of the coin that runners need to work on. If you have been hammering stability work, balance work, you see running coaches telling you that you should be doing single leg exercises only. If you feel like you have tried to progress your strength training, but to no avail, you're breaking down every other week, every other month, or you've not seen a PB in months, maybe you've not even finished a running training block because of injury, then you need to start by getting the running durability program. It's 9 weeks, it's 2 sessions a week, probably 40 minutes to an hour tops, not all weights. You'll see plyometrics in there, jumping, things to work around your groins, calves, etc. It's all progressed to load the system, make you faster and stronger runner, to someone who also breaks down less so they can keep running for longer. But again, it's only a couple of sessions a week to supplement someone's running training. They don't have to compromise on the running schedule. If they've got time to then do more training and they've got their own upper body strength program, and again, you're an all-round individual, maybe you do high rocks, then this is still going to slot in there nicely as your sort of lower body physical development, and you can then do some upper body alongside it. You can still run alongside it, and you'll see your loading and your weights progress over that time, and certain exercises might tweak, might increase in their complexity or their intensity over them 9 weeks. So it's taking you through that whole journey, and the link to that is in the description below.